Hello everyone, and this is a Gangplank guide. This video will include abilities, masteries, matchup, item order, pros and cons. Now let's together take a look at the pros and cons of Gangplank. And now look at the pros. High mobility, fun to make plays with. Gets a ton of extra gold. Great wave clear, fun to master. Has really good scaling. And now cons. Weak early, hard to master. Some very bad matchups, Riven. Needs lots of Cs, struggles with mana early. One of the hardest champs in the game. Now, let's take a look at the Champion Mastery page together. Here, you can make adjustments according to your own playstyle. I usually take First Strike now due to the fact that it gives gold and damage, which helps get you the items you need faster. Depending on the matchup, you could take Grasp as it still does good damage and can make you tanky. I usually take it versus Taney champs. First Strike is pretty good, weaker early when compared to Grasp though. However, its mid to late game worth is higher. This is because you can proc the run from hitting barrels, and by mid game you can do big deem so you can get more gold. For both rune pages, Grasp and First Strike, you can take Inspiration or Sorcery. I just prefer the damage, but change it into poke matchups. Depending on the opponent's situation and the game's composition, you can make these selections. You can choose Doran's Blade, Health Potion, and Stealth Ward as your starting items. After 5 minutes, for your early item pick, you can go for Caulfield's Warhammer and Boots. Up to 20 minutes, you can consider purchasing Essence Reaver, Navori Quickblades, and the Collector. For your full build, after getting Ionian Boots of Lucidity recently, you can continue with Lord Dominic's Regards and Bloodthirster. Anything and anyone that outsustains and or outpokes Gangplank is generally considered hard. In top, the common ones that are hard to win, and you see often are Irelia, Tryndamere, Vladimir, Ryze, Jace, Quinn, Vayne, Azir, Sylas. Irelia is fairly easy to kill for a Gangplank with Ignite. She only gets stronger after a few Adiaz components. If she has her passive stacked, don't engage, only poke. Tryndamere gets stronger once he gets his ultimate Undying Rage. Before that, he is very easy to kill, but you still have to watch out for his passive, Battle Fury. Vladimir is very squishy early on, and his cooldowns are pretty long, so you can play around that very easily, and maybe pick up a kill or two. This category includes squishy assassins, mages, and tanks. Here are some examples of lanes at ease. Teemo is a very squishy little rat bastard who you should almost always take Ignite against. He's super easy to hit powder kegs on, and you can cleanse his Q, Blinding Dart, and the slow from his R-Noxious Trap. Keep in mind that he can still be a bit tricky to fight early if he kites well due to his E, Toxic Shot. Fizz is like Teemo early, very easy to beat, but after a few item components, he will become a threat. The main thing you gotta do is to poke him with powder kegs as much as possible to get his E, Playful Trickster on CD. That's when you can punish him the most. Pro tip, take Ignite in this lane. Kassadin is pretty much identical to Fizz, with the exception of him not having any escapes before level 6. Try to hit powder kegs and end the game before he gets level 16. Yasuo can be a bit tricky due to his mobility and damage, but the lane is always winnable. Nevertheless, you can take Ignite and play pretty aggressively. Trial by Fire. Gangplank's passive essentially gives him an Ignite. Ghost on his next auto attack. The cooldown is fairly long but can be reset if GP last hits his powder kegs. Parley. Gangplank's Q is a shot from his pistol, which applies on-hit effects. It can also destroy his kegs, but can't be used to hit turrets or wards. If Gangplank kills a unit with his Q, he receives bonus gold and silver serpents, which can be used to upgrade his ultimate. There are 3 upgrades that all cost 500 silver serpents. Remove Scurvy. Gangplank's DW is a self-heal that cleanses all CC effects and scales with missing HP. Can be used to bait enemies to follow you too deep into your own territory to get some cheeky kills. Powder Keg. Gangplank places a powder keg that can be attacked by Gangplank and enemy champions for 25 seconds. When an enemy destroys it, the keg is defused. When Gangplank destroys it, it explodes, slowing 0.25% per 1% crit chance for 2 seconds and dealing the attack's damage, ignoring 40% armor. Champions take an additional physical damage. Keg health decays every 2, 1, 0.5 seconds. Keg explosions detonate other kegs with overlapping blast zones, but don't deal damage to the same target more than once. Keg explosions triggered by Parley will grant the bonus gold for targets killed. Cannon Barrage. Gangplank signals his ship to fire 12 waves of cannonballs anywhere on the map over 8 seconds. Each wave slows by 30% for 0.5 seconds and deals 110% of ability power magic damage. This ability can be upgraded in the shop via Parley.